Back with our discussion with this half hour's guests on Talk to the Experts, a presentation of Trusted Saskatoon. Sarah Wheelwright, the owner, the founder of the trusted franchise, Trustedsaskatoon.com. And as I say, it is a franchise. You've got Trusted Regina now, I understand.
Yeah, Trusted Regina launched April 16th, and we have about 70 businesses, part of it down there and growing daily. And Trusted Calgary is next, which will present challenges to itself. I mean, I'm going to have to spend more time away from my family and stuff, but and it's such a big city, we have to quadrant it. But, you know, it just means that the wonderful first year that we've had with nearly 10% of the Saskatoon population come into the site is just going to be increasing as we expand and the brand becomes, you know, national.
We were talking on the break as well about so many people moving to Saskatchewan, not only from different parts of Canada, but different parts of the world. What a great website for them to go to if they have no idea who to look to for some of the basic services that so many of us take for granted. 40 different categories, and you'll take care of them right there at Trustedsaskatoon.com.
Absolutely.
Okay, another one of your fans is Leanne Falkowski, who is the owner of Urban Wall. Leanne, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you very much.
What is it you do?
I am an interior painter, and I do some, special finishes, Venetian plaster, faux finishing, some mural work as well.
What are some of the challenges that you've run into as an interior painter here in Saskatoon and in the industry?
I think the biggest thing right now in the industry is really quality control, because Saskatoon is booming right now. There are so many trades coming in out of province.
And pretend trades, too, sometimes.
Exactly. And especially in the painting industry, because unfortunately, you're not required to be a ticketed journeyman in the painting industry.
All you got to do is get a pair of white coveralls.
Exactly,
and,
a minivan and a ladder.
Of course, I'm a professional painter.
And a paintbrush, and you're a painter, right? But unfortunately, kind of a part of my job description right now is actually doing a lot of cleanup work after some of these quote unquote tradespeople that are coming in and saying that they're qualified when actually they're not.
And but I know that's terrible that happens, that these people come into our city when times are booming and they say they can do a job and they can't. But it also drives me crazy that for a lot of homeowners, it's always about money. And they think the cheap way is the only way they can go.
Yes,
and then, of course, they get burned like that. And then they have to call you in.
And then it ends
if they would have called you in the first place.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly the situation I'm actually in right now. With a nice couple that bought a beautiful house out in Riverside Estates, actually ended up paying almost double what it would have cost for their paint. Right,
wow.
Right. They kind of.
I would assume in your position as an interior painter, you're much like Marla Jansen that we spoke to, a lot of word of mouth, that a lot of your clients came from people that were satisfied with your work in past. Yeah,
like 90% is word of mouth.
What about client objections, where somebody you went in and did some work for, you're on the Trusted Saskatoon website? How does that help you with any potential problems you may run into with a client?
Well, it's nice to know because, it's not just my word. I can definitely point my clients in the direction of Trustedsaskatoon.com, and they can see, if they go through the site and read what the criteria is there to actually be on the site. So, it's a little bit of quality control for the end user or for the homeowner or whoever it might be.
Is Trusted working for you? Are you getting more clients?
I love being on the Trusted site. I love I give all of my clients like a little portfolio, and I love putting Sarah's information in there, and it always invokes questions and stuff, and then I can say, I will uphold the 5 trusted guarantees, and I will, or else I can't be on the site anymore.
and Leanne does more than that. I mean, I was really impressed when we met, and she told me she has like a no quibble guarantee. So if you kind of, get your home painted, and then, I don't know, your husband moves the chair and knocks
don't blame the guy.
It always is. Moves the chair, knocks the paintwork, or your kids kind of do something, and she'll come back in 2 weeks and she'll touch everything up for
Customer service, that's what it's all about.
Who does that? Who does that?
As the owner of Trusted Saskatoon, though, what's your involvement if I have someone from Trusted do some work for me and I'm not happy with it? Do I contact you, or I deal strictly with the person who did the work?
I mean, contact us if you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. A lot of people have contacted us, or not many. We haven't had many complaints, but they'll contact us first. I mean, what we do is we don't kind of offer dispute resolution. We don't have like a big magic wand. But what we do is, first of all, the process to get on shows what kind of business they are, and when we ever had any kind of feedback, we've dealt with it head on. We've explained. We've looked at the situation situation, and just because the customer says this is a situation, sometimes it doesn't mean that's the full story, and the customer's not always right. That's not our standpoint, although we work for the business. We just pull people back to the trusted guarantees, and if the businesses that are on have not upheld a guarantee, we give them the opportunity to put it right. So let's just say that, you know, they were doing something and they damaged something of the clients when they were doing it. If they don't put that right, then, you know, we would remove them from the site.
Excellent. So they've got a certain conduct code that they have to adhere to.
Absolutely.
Trustedsaskatoon.com. You're listening to Sarah Wheelwright, the owner, and some of her clients who are joining us here today talking about it. We were just chatting with Leanne Falkowski, who owns Urban Wall. Looking for a painter, go to the Trustedsaskatoon.com website, look under painters, and you'll see Leanne Falkowski there. We're running out of time, so I got to get to Ken Eade here. Of course, Ken, that name is a guy that a lot of people are going to be listening to saying, I've heard that name in the media over the past while. Ken is the owner of 3-in-1 Construction, and again, another Trusted Saskatoon contractor. Good to see you, Ken.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Do you need any more advertising with all the positive media buzz around you and what you did for a lady who got stiffed by a contractor here recently?
It's always good to be talked about.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's no bad advertising,
that's
really,
right.
as long as they're saying good things about you out there. Ken Eade, as a guy who's involved in 3-in-1 Construction, and you must see that a lot. What we were talking about with our other two guests, where you're seeing, if we can use the word fly-by-night, people coming to town of perhaps not such good reputable standards, taking money from people, and often you're in cleaning up after them.
It does happen, and as Leanne said, I mean, you know, just like in the painting world, in the construction world, anybody that owns a hammer and a half ton right now seems to be a contractor. And a lot of what we do, and like Leanne and like myself, you know, we do a lot of trades work where you don't have to be qualified by education. You know, and certified with a certificate. So that's where Trusted works really well for us, because you know, we're dealing with customer referrals, and that was my standpoint when I started the business, is I was going to base it based on just referrals and quality and service.
Well, and people are lazy. You know, I've been there myself. You know, I hire somebody and they give me this spiel and I go, yeah, and the price looks good, okay. And they'll even say, here's some references. And I'll say, yeah. And most times, most people don't check them out. You know, so it's all done for me at Trustedsaskatoon.com. There's some people like yourself, and I look at it, and there's your story, and then there's people that can comment on the work that they've done for you, or
right.
You've done for them.
Yeah, that's right. It's worked very well for us. And when we first started the business, it was a struggle because you know, there had the ripped off clients in Saskatoon. I mean, that story is not uncommon.
No.
And so people are apprehensive to hire just anybody, and I think they should be. I think they should do a little bit of homework. They should reference, you know, contacts and everything else.
You bet.
And so it was difficult when I got going, because I did have to carry around a portfolio of names and addresses and references. So it was difficult. But when Sarah approached me with the idea of joining the partnership, you know, at first I thought, you know, it's not something I need, because referrals were working for me. She laid it out and made it clear, and you know, we saw a 400% increase in our business last year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
so referrals taken to a grander scale, like we've
absolutely.
been seeing here, which is really what it's all about. Ken, that's a fabulous story, and I want to thank you and Leanne and Marla for coming in. I know you're busy, hardworking business owners, and you got to get out and do what you do. And Sarah Wheelwright, always a pleasure spending some time with you, Sarah, and continued great success with Trusted Saskatoon, Trustedsaskatoon.com. Nice to see you, Sarah.
Yes, you too. Thank you very much.
And that does it for this half hour of Experts on News Talk Radio.